On the table, we have 3 of our games. We have 5 games in all, but on the table we have a tactics, the maze game, we have Kitunda, a chess-like format game, and we have Gin-Go based on 500 rummy. So if you enjoy rumming or canasta, this is a card game based on a regular deck of cards. In Gin-Go, the object of the game, you can play with 2 to 4 people. Red is trying to get a connecting line zigzagging through the board from ace to K. Green is going in the other direction trying to get a connecting line from ace to K. With every spread you make, every meld you make, be it 3 of the same value or 3 or more of the same suit in sequence, you put chips on the board. If I make a spread and you occupy my chips, I bump you off the board. You make a spread and occupy your space, you bump me off the board. First person to get a link says gin. It's like saying check in chess. You're letting your opponent know he has the remainder of the hand to break up that link and get Gin-Go. Or stop you from getting Gin-Go. At least if you can last 1 extra hand, there's always a possibility you can win. This is called Kitunda. Kitunda in Swahili means chess pawn. It's based on chess. All the royals, the bishop, the rook, and the knight and the king have taken ill. It's a game from 2 to 4 people, and the queen goes to the mystics. They ask the mystics, what can we do to have our Kitunda protect our land? The mystics give them a crystal, 6-sided die, where they can obtain the powers of the royals. And as you play the game, each roll of the dice tells you what royal power you can use, and you can basically spend the rest of the time going at it, taking each other out, till there's one last piece standing. There is no escape in this game. It is to the death.
I'm telling you folks, I just played it. There is no escape, and it went down to the wire.
This is a tactics, a maze game. You have a monarch. Every player has a monarch that comes out from the corner, trying to be the first one to get into the center of the board. When the monarch is the only piece in the game that can move on the roll of 1, being mandatory. If you don't roll 1, you can't move your monarch. You have 5 minors that come out from other points in the board. You have 4 majors. A minor can move either die. If you roll, for example, a 2 and a 5, a minor can move 2 or 5. A master, you have 4 of them, can only come out from this point on the board, and they can move either die or the sum of both die. So if you roll a 2 and a 5, they can move 2, 5, or 7. Your master is the strongest piece. It can move along a diagonal or rank in 5. But it can only move, its weakness is that it can only move on a 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, or 5, 6 roll. If you can't get it, it doesn't move. So it stays stationary until you can get that roll. You can combinate rolls. You can get a 3, 4, move 1 master, move 1 minor, or 1 major, and there are point values for each piece. If you capture a piece, you get a point value to use for your monarch on your turn before you roll the dice. It's a 15-point ceiling. If you capture anybody in your own territory, your own quadrant, it's the same point value. You capture an adjacent quadrant, double point value. You capture a diagonally opposed quadrant, triple point value. So if you lose your monarch, you're out the game. So, also the monarch can also move on the third, fourth, fifth double roll. But you must move the total sum of the dice. So to be wary of this, it's a good move. But should your monarch get ahead of the other pieces that are protecting it, everybody knows you're going toward the center or getting close to the center of the maze, and everybody comes after.
Makes sense.
It's a great game, a lot of fun, a lot of swearing, a lot of cussing, and every quadrant is an open maze, not closed. Every quadrant duplicates the other quadrant, so there's no excuses. You just got to learn how to roll correctly and protect your monarch.
And where can they find these beautiful games? Because people are going to want to play this.
You can find them on Amura.com, AmuraUnlimited.com, and we enjoy making games for you. And it's a process I've been doing for years.
You're from the Bronx?
We're from the Bronx, seated Bronx boys by now,
And of course, if you're here this weekend at the Tabletop Gaming Expo, I almost lost it there. At the Tabletop Gaming Expo, you guys can come play this game or these games because it was a lot of fun to play over here. So come check them out and pick up a game and take it with you.
Yes, please do. And we would love having you come here and taking at least 5 minutes with us. And those 5 minutes will turn into 10 into 15. And
I can agree with that completely because that's what just happened. All right, folks.